So, welcome to ShaloTek Podcast, episode 9, 15 weeks later.
Is it 9 or 8?
It's 9.
Okay.
Tim, great intro, man.
Thanks.
That was awesome.
Thanks. I'll do better next time. My apologies.
There won't be a next time. No, I'm just kidding.
If I have my say.
What, you don't want to do this?
No, we don't do this podcast because I'm always busy.
Oh, yeah. Well,
That's all right. We'll just kick you out. We'll sub in.
hey, you have
You
to
can
be
do
here,
that.
though. You have to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like me that much?
Nope. Not at all. It's if you're not here,
Gosh.
there's a certain level of, like cats away, mice will play kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you ever watch The Man Show back in the day?
No.
Adam Carolla and Jimmy Kimmel.
Mm-mm.
They
I've seen bits, I think, actually.
yeah, they would turn into The Man Show. Like
Oh.
it would be like, and now girls on trampolines.
Jeez. You know what I also think of?
Oh, here it's gonna get good now.
Remember, was it Andy Milonakis or something like that? You ever watch the Milonakis? You ever watch that?
Is that the same guy that does it Between Two Ferns?
No.
That's Zach Galifianakis.
Dude, that guy he is so good at keeping a straight face. He did one with Hillary Clinton. He's done one with Hillary Clinton. He's done one with Obama. To sit there and keep a straight face and ask the questions that he asked, knowing that everyone else,
I know what you're talking about.
it's just like ultimate cringe or laughing, and he's just like stone cold killer. I think it takes a special kind of person to be able to pull that off.
You're not wrong.
Like, to pull that off, that's a special kind of person.
Yeah,
I don't even think. No, I think
special.
Tim's good. I don't think Tim could pull that off.
Oh no, I definitely could.
No, you laugh at
I
your
have
own
to go
jokes
into
sometimes.
it with that. Like this is what I'm trying to accomplish, but I definitely could.
I wonder what switch you have to flip. Maybe you hit a flip of I'm not here for fun and making a thing. Like maybe you just get yourself ready by just genuinely finding hate in that person.
No, hold on. No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I think you're seriously. You're not giving me enough credit. Okay.
You genuinely hate me?
No,
And you
it's
could do
not
it?
that. I'm talking about if I want to make the situation uncomfortable, I can.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about I'm gonna crack and break character. Me and Ginger over here have had an ongoing thing for what? It lasted 6 months over the bag of gummy worms.
Yeah, you're not lying. Didn't your kid eat those?
Yeah. Yeah, he finally put it to bed where my son was like, hey, who's gummy worms? And I'm like, well, here's the backstory. And he's like, shh.
Cool backstory.
Yeah.
How much do you guys want to charge him for it? I'll pull it out of his paycheck.
Oh, did you tell him no on Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. Sorry, I didn't say that. Cut that.
What
I told you
happened?
we negotiated.
I wouldn't negotiate.
I didn't.
Just be like, no, you're scheduled. Show up or get fired. Because that's how the world works.
Well, if he's not careful, he's going to get fired anyways because he put tools in a different area than he was supposedly told. You should probably cut that too.
Yeah, he's going to be like,
Leave it in here for constructive criticism.
I don't know that it's constructive. Just be like, they don't like
Just
me
criticism.
anymore. I'm leaving.
Yeah, he's going to quit.
Nah, I don't think he quit. We were talking last night on the way home, and he's like, I had to think real hard about whether or not I wanted to take this job. And I was like, oh yeah? And he's like, I can think about it. Probably count on one hand the number of actual real decisions I've had to make in my life. And that was one of them. I was like, damn, I'm almost 50 and I agree with you. I think I've only made 4 or 5 myself. But no, he's actually kind of happy working here. He enjoys working with you. So, what?
He asked me questions about games, and I'm like, yeah. He
He
asked me yesterday about it's like, what are your thoughts on the TikTok ban? I was like, if I had the time to care about TikTok ban, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, it's interesting to what's the dominant?
Yeah,
driving
I would have
force?
gone home at 4:30 and
Yeah.
thought about it at home, not here.
Yeah, still working, but he says to me, he goes, yeah, I think I'm going to take a half a day on Friday next week. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I'm thinking that actually kind of works because
Doesn't he only like already come in for just
Half a day.
Yeah. Well, next week spring break, so he's going to work full time, right? So he says to me, he goes, "I'm going to take a half a day on Friday," and I was like, "Okay, that kind of makes sense because come Friday, I've already been here 60 hours. So like if I'm out of here at 4 or 5, that's a half day."
Mm.
And I'm like, "I'm good. Dude, I'm on the same page, bro." He goes, "Yeah, what I was thinking is you could come get me at like 4 and I'll work my normal schedule." And I'm like,
No.
what are you thinking? I'm going to work all day, come get you, come back, and then work another 4 hours because those are the 4 hours you want?
Jeez.
Like, what kind of a pinhead math are you running here,
Yeah.
bud? I'm not doing that.
You can come in the morning and work those
you
4
can do
hours.
7 to noon or 7.
And
And
go
if you
home.
want to leave, walk. I don't care. Like,
We'll take them home for like on the way to lunch.
Who? Oh, that's the thing to do. Come on, boys, going to jalapenos. Let's get tacos, and you drop him off before.
You laugh.
We'll
do that.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Get out. What?
It's only for people working the full day.
Yeah, you wanted a half a day, and your half a day is over.
Now he knows it's going to come. Crap. Cut that part out. Leave the rest.
Nah, it's not like we all didn't have to learn hard lessons when it comes to how to work in the world.
Yeah, but my hard lessons were way harder, it feels like.
I will say, and this is something that this is probably TMI. Cut this probably, but like
It's a lot of. Hey, just cut it. You
Yeah.
know what?
Let's
Just
go
cut
ahead.
the whole podcast.
Let's cut that out. Let's do it over. Hey, episode 9, 15 weeks later.
Episode
We've
9,
been filming
take
this
7.
whole time. But we-
Yeah, we'll probably go a full hour today. You'll have to cut it down to 20.
Yep.
It's just because of all the beep, 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 beep. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Moving on.
Yeah.
Real stuff. What are we talking
Yeah.
about? So, Dill, tell us, where do you come from?
Where'd you come from? Where'd
From
you go?
dust.
Yeah.
Where'd you come from?
Um,
Cotton Eye Joe.
Because I'm pretty sure my backstory at least is partially filled in. What's yours?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Gosh.
No one cares about anything pre-ShaloTek.
That's not true.
I'm
That's
just
the whole
kidding.
point of this is like,
Yeah, pre-ShaloTek, I was homeless, and no, I wasn't homeless.
Partially. Don't let them fool
Close
you.
to it. I didn't have to pay rent on a house that I lived in, which was nice. Yeah, no,
Yeah, Crimea River, right?
yeah, I was about to say, I've been paying rent since I was 16. What the hell?
yeah, right. Yeah, no, I met Travis at a church that we went to,
Mhm.
and we had hit it off. I don't remember exactly. I think what happened was me and my wife met Megan at like a small group micro church setting
Oh,
that
I
we
was
all
at
went
that
to.
small group, bruh.
You were at that small group.
Well,
But
guess who got the attention?
Somehow the conversation got brought up of, hey, we need someone to watch our dog. I was like, oh, I'll do it. And so either myself or Tiff, I think, had texted Megan and got it all lined up. And then I watched their dog, and then me and Travis kind of hit things off after that. And he was telling me all about ShaloTek and Mill Out and whatever. And it was
I
like,
originally hired him for Mill Out.
yeah,
Like our store down in Ocala.
yeah. And
And,
then that transitioned into this and Mill Out, and then just this.
So funny. I was going to talk to you about him. Sorry for looking over the shoulder at your phone.
Uno momento, por favor.
Yeah. This is about business. Did you tell him I'm coming over today?
Yeah, that was the plan. But I told him I don't have details as to
Yet.
when, how.
Yeah, he did place an order last night, though. Shout out to Luke. Thank you, Luke. I think he listens to these. Actually, I know he does because that's how he realized we were in so close to him.
No kidding.
Yeah, he ran across the YouTube and we were talking about like where we were at or something. And he's like, wait a second, that's in my backyard.
Wait a second.
So that's how he found us.
Okay, well, after this is over, you and I have to get together. What are you taking?
Unfortunately, that also deals with him.
We ain't talking to him about it, okay?
He
You
can
own
solve
this.
that problem.
You own this.
He
okay?
can solve that problem.
Yeah.
But
But I'm also talking paperwork too.
paperwork.
Yeah. Price
So,
sheets.
okay, cool,
You- what-
cool.
And what I expect you to come back with as far as PO.
You want to go with me? How we put a toolbox on?
Yeah, I can do that, but
Then you have no way to get home. You can crash at my house tonight. You're welcome. That's a gift. I'm giving you a night of peace.
No. No, I'm worried about the loss of production. I'm here till 9 tonight.
9.
Yeah.
No, because I walked in late.
No.
Because I missed an hour.
No, because stuff's got to get done.
Yeah, I know.
And if I'm at your place, which don't get me wrong, I'd love to be able to like, hey, let's go do fun thing.
Yeah, we don't get to do that. Okay, so I'll go.
Tease me about a good time.
We're gonna jump back into Dylan's story in a second. You can keep this in because we're just talking business.
Yeah.
I'll go show him.
Yep.
And then you can.
Nope. You're doing it there.
No,
Look,
you can
at some point, you're gonna have to learn to listen. So tell us more about your dog watching.
Yeah, so Dylan watched my dog. And I said, well, he's able to do this. Maybe he's able to
Wow, that bar's
work
freaking low.
daily. We'll
He didn't
see.
kill my dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you all know, I like taking a lot of risk.
Yeah.
So we'll find out one day if it was where that bar lays.
Well, you know the saying, right? Chance favors the bold.
Yeah.
This is
And then it also can crush you overnight. But I was like, hey, I need help. And Megan's like, you can't afford help. And I was like, I don't care. I need it. Dylan, you want a job?
Yeah. But that was over the process of like
A
a
month.
year.
No, it was not.
Yeah,
That was
no.
quick. We went to
No, because
Grub.
I still worked so I was at the church
And then he
in the
worked
tech department,
at-
and we were like,
Where
yeah,
else
like
did you
I want to
work?
hire you at some
Where
point.
did I save you from, Dylan? Just
No,
say
you
it.
pulled me from Walmart, but I
Walmart.
worked at Walmart
I
for
saved
like
this man from Walmart, people.
Hold
he
on.
had to deal with
I worked
Walmart,
at Walmart
people
for like 6 months.
in
I
the
wanna
tech
know-
8 months.
area.
cool. I want to know what's the tech department of church.
Like,
Like,
I
what-
worked in AVL.
Oh,
audio,
visual.
Gotcha.
all
You
that.
turned on
That's
the
actually
amp.
that's where we connected because that's like what I did middle school, high school, college. Was that plus like full on production, audio visual production out at like
What, you
larger
graduate of
concerts
wholesale
and
or
stuff.
something?
No, actually, the company I worked for would not hire people from Full Sail
No kidding.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
at all. They refused
Dang.
because they wouldn't work. Right. How the industry works is how the industry works in any trade, even though it's a very skilled trade. You cut your teeth by pulling cable. You pull cable. Doesn't matter that box is 200 pounds, whatever. That snake, the audio snake, doesn't matter that it needs to go 200 feet. It goes 200 feet. Don't care that you graduated from Full Sail and you know how to run a soundboard. Doesn't matter. Go pull cable. And
Yep.
those people were too good to pull cable. So that's why they didn't get hired. Anyways, so that's what we.
So you're AB Tech in the name of the Lord, working at Walmart, and then you get pulled out of that. And where do you go from there? Like, what does that job entail? So we've
Yeah.
identified when you got suckered, but what did you get suckered into?
Yeah, no, I think you hired me for website and social media for Mill
Yep.
I think.
Trying to build
Yeah.
out that website a little bit for the store.
Gotcha.
And then it transitioned from there to focusing in on ShaloTek and building the website and social there as well. And then it kind of just
Took
ramped
off.
up from there and became what it is now.
That's wild. And
Yeah.
what it is now is
It's a monster.
insignificant. Well, it's a monster, but it's insignificant to what it's going to be in a year, in 5 years,
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see where you came from, but still have the aspirations and dreams of how much better it can be.
Yeah.
You know?
It's also really easy to forget where you came from.
Just saying, this setup was in a hot, just like storage units setup.
Yeah, we had a 1,500 square foot, 1,500 square foot warehouse that we were going to start growing into. That all we ever did was actually film a podcast in and store
Yeah.
some stuff.
And it worked. We did it.
What do you mean this setup? What are you talking about?
Like
When-
the podcast.
Dylan and I did podcasts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
That's where we got
It's
our
like a
first
good-
1,000 subs off of YouTube.
Really?
Yeah. It's like a good 40, 50 episodes, I think, that we did.
Yeah.
They've all been archived now. You can't find them.
Oh, really?
Hey, some of those were good.
They were.
Don't
Do you
laugh
still
They
at
were
have
that.
all
access?
under.
You guys really should pull all those and just do like chop them up, and put it out like not a bloopers reel, but like, like a highlights reel. Yeah. Throwback Thursday. That's a great idea.
And here we are in 6,000 square feet. Actually, I just brought that up. Was it last week? We had a little remembering moment of that building.
Yeah, it was.
So we're at 6,000 now. New facility is how many?
10.
With the
additional 5
coming on.
Mm-hmm.
And
when we're
our
ready.
own private range.
Hopefully.
What do you mean, hopefully? That's the only reason why I'm moving.
It's a in the works.
Yeah. There's some cold
question.
feet.
I was going to say, look, I'm shooting there. Whether
There's
a berm,
hey,
it's
I'm
up to
just saying there was a reason for instead of doing a table, doing a couch.
Here,
because some nights it may just be worth staying here.
Look, having slept in this shop, it's very quiet.
Yeah, right.
There's no to it. You turn off all the machines, you're just like, no, I'm done. It's uber quiet.
Yeah,
which is awesome. But when you go out the front and you're going to stand outside or look out the window, it can get a little spooky.
Yeah, it is spooky here
because I've seen eyes looking at me through the woods over there, and I was like, okay, I've had one too many. Something's wrong.
Yeah,
like,
right.
What? No, it actually was something looking at me. There was a damn deer. Yeah. Oh, no, shop cat, man. Oh,
you've had a cop come up to you once before over here, right?
Oh, okay. My best cop story with the shop. So he's parked out front, right?
Yeah.
In the cul-de-sac. I leave, right? Like I open the door, I pull my truck out, I close the door, and I leave. And get over to the convenience store, gas station, whatever. I'm standing there making my coffee, doing my thing. And I watch him pull up, get out, come in, and he goes, "Hey, you left the door open." I'm like, "No, I didn't." "Yeah, you just left that shop over there, didn't you?" I went, "Yeah, I know." He goes, "Well, you left the door open." And I went, "No, I didn't. You must have grabbed another door or another shop. You didn't see where I came from, but I didn't leave the door open." And like, I know I locked the door. I was paying attention because Johnny Law is sitting right there. And I'm thinking, gosh, man, this dude's going to bust my chops about leaving at the hour that I'm leaving at. Or, it's outside of normal working hours. So like I expected
for other people,
other attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like I paid attention to what I was doing. And then this dude looked at me like I had a hole in my head. Like,
it's a plumber store.
Yeah. He went next door.
Yeah.
And he was, and now I'm thinking like, well, why in the hell is that door open? Like, it ain't me, bro, but maybe you should call him.
Yeah.
Find out why that door's open, but please leave me alone. Don't shoot me.
Gosh.
Wasn't me. There's a comedian. Who does that?
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
That's a
a song.
song.
Yeah.
Shaggy.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Speaking of songs, you see Puff Daddy?
Yeah, my son says absolutely guilty.
I don't know
mainly
anything.
because he fled the country.
All I know of the headline was his house has got raided, and I haven't looked into anything since.
And I guess he lives next door to Ridley Scott
I don't know who that is.
because Ridley Scott couldn't get into his house.
Because of it?
Yeah, because the road was blocked off or whatever. So I got a picture of him standing in his
Who's
in the
Ridley
road.
Scott?
Oh, I want to hold your head under
No,
water.
I'm sorry, but who is it?
Ridley Scott.
Do you know
He's
who
a,
Ridley Scott is?
Mm-hmm. I'll pull them up here for you too.
Okay. I'm just gonna look.
I'm just kind of bothered by that.
Maybe I do, and I just don't know the name. Right?
Yeah, okay, let me no, I'm not even going to acknowledge it.
Oh, he makes movies.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't just make movies.
He's made some of the best movies to ever come out.
Yeah, I mean,
Cool.
he is definitive in the culture that you live in.
Sorry, people. I enjoy
There went
movies,
subs
but I don't.
like galore right
Yeah,
there.
it just dropped.
Yeah.
I like movies. I just don't
I
really
like
pay
movies.
attention.
I just
to-
don't know who made
You ever seen Alien?
Yes. My
Yeah.
problem. Here's my problem. I'm easily entertained with movies too. Right. So like
We were talking about
Rotten
this yesterday.
Tomatoes, people that are like 20%, I'll get through that movie and I'll go, that wasn't too bad.
See, I have, and this has irritated my wife to no end. And I didn't realize what was happening until much later in life when TikTok gave me the answer. You're
Mhm.
like, are you ADHD? Like, you get 8 minutes into a movie and you're like, he did it. with that, like you're solving Clue,
Yeah.
You're a
it's
whodunit
Mr.
guy.
Jones in the library with a candlestick.
Should be one of our podcasts. We play Clue.
Yeah, true. But it takes a lot for me to enjoy a movie, and that sucks too, because I love a good movie, but man, it's been so long since something came out that was actually worth watching.
Yeah.
Barbie nailed it.
All right. Did you see the Oppenheimer?
No, haven't watched that.
You see, she's coming out with a Sims movie now.
Yeah, I saw that.
She's crushing it.
She is. Don't get me wrong. Love Margot Robbie. My biggest, best role she's ever done, Wolf of Wall Street. No, the Sims thing I don't have high hopes for, because I think it's like, oh, so you're gonna do the Ryan Reynolds movie, that guy, where he's the NPC and the character who gets the glasses so that he could.
Oh,
yeah,
Free Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I'm like, that's what The Sims is a rehash of that. But hell, man,
Every single piece of content out there is a rehash.
Yeah, I know.
We were just talking about that not too long ago.
Yeah, like everything is nothing more. It's the Matrix just like chewing
Or
on
just
itself.
what is it? There's another.
Okay. Have you heard of the
Bad
Mandela
Boys
effect?
coming out.
Have you heard of the Mandela effect?
Yes.
The Fruit of the Looms cornucopia didn't exist on their logo, and Mandela died in prison, but he didn't die in prison. Like all these different things. There's theories about timelines changing, right? And I heard one the other day where the chick said something like the Large Hadron Collider, in Bern, they managed to create they knocked a neutron off of something, and
that just shifted it up.
It shifted everything to the next parallel dimension where things are just kind of a little bit different,
Mm-hmm.
And my wife and I were talking about it, just having a little chit chat on the porch one night. And I was like, nope, I don't think that's what happened. I said, I honestly think the Matrix happened. When that movie came out, after that point is when everything changed. So at some point, either by watching the movie or by taking the red pill, blue pill thing, that's when it changed, is when the Matrix came out. That's my theory. Don't know.
Gosh.
But no, there's another Bad Boys movie coming out. All it is, honestly, it's capitalism eating itself alive, which that's what we are. So awesome. But
Do you feel that?
what?
You didn't feel that?
No.
Okay.
There's Matrix.
Well,
yeah, right.
You say that, except for the damn floor was moving.
I did not feel that.
It's the Matrix.
Oh, no. Not again.
So I think a majority of people just don't want to risk it. Just do what's always been done. Do the same thing. It's going to make money and move on.
Yeah, I agree.
People
It's too easy to redo the things that have made money before.
Yeah, and people are easily entertained.
What I would love to see, though, is good stories that were done poorly, redone well.
Oh, that would be a good one.
That's an untapped pool of easy money. You know what I mean?
Well, unless you do it poorly again.
Yeah, but I mean, there's some stories you just kind of look, you've already figured out how not to do it. Yeah. There's an example of a bad, representation.
I don't know. You look at Disney, they just continue to get worse and they know that they're doing it bad.
Is there a new Star Wars thing out right now?
There's a new show called The Acolyte that's supposed to come out in June.
I thought it was already out.
July. No, they just dropped the trailer for it a week ago.
What do you think?
It looks like garbage.
Does it?
It has an agenda.
Okay, great. What did you think of Andor?
Andor was good.
I think Andor was the best thing since the first movie was ever made. That was just absolutely amazing for what it was. So what was your favorite Star Wars? If you say Jar Jar, so help me.
Punch me.
Jar Jar is the
okay, yeah.
Dark Lord of the Sith.
Yeah, I was going to say, is he Sith or not?
Who knows?
So just Reddit internet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, cool. We found the Star Trek guy.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not even a Star Trek guy. I'm not a Star Trek guy at all. I enjoyed Star Wars, but I never got into it. I also never. It's just not a big sci-fi.
Really?
Yeah.
Not a big sci-fi guy.
What are you into? Like dramas?
I don't know.
Romance.
Yeah, rom-coms. You're a rom-com guy, aren't
Ask
you?
everyone. I don't care what guy it is. They'll talk a bunch of crap. But when it comes to Hallmark season and your wife has that stuff on, you get into it. And if you say you don't, you're lying.
No, I can tell you right now, 100% I'm not lying.
Yeah.
I think
I will walk.
No,
I
no.
literally
Let me
walked
rephrase
out of
this.
the room.
Let me
Yeah.
rephrase this. You get into it because it's so stupid.
no, I don't.
No.
And you're like, this is the same story over and
Wow,
over again.
this right here is clearly definitive of the different types of personalities that exist and
Yeah.
how you don't acknowledge that something might be different. I leave. I won't watch that
Yeah.
stuff.
Really?
I'll find something else to do.
No.
Yeah.
Again, I'm easily entertained in life.
Uh-huh.
So I'll sit down and I'll go, whatever.
You eat paste.
It's fine. I'm not ashamed.
You realize it's like literally the exact same story in every movie.
Yeah, that's what makes it so garbage. And then easily entertained. Because you know what's coming. So you just want to go like, okay, how did they think about it differently this time?
Do you like
to tell the
slasher
same
movies?
story? Like scary?
Yeah, slasher movies like Jason, Freddy,
No,
Freddy
I don't like
Krueger.
scary movies.
No,
Mm-mm.
I mean because those are all the same too.
Yeah. I just don't like jumpy movies.
Well, I don't either. But I
It's
mean,
just
if
kind
you're
of like
easily
slasher.
digesting formulaic film,
Yeah.
it's right up your alley.
Yeah, but jumper movies, I can't. If it's like realistic, like that crap could actually happen,
All of it can happen.
like The Purge,
have you
and
ever?
stuff like that, I stay away from it.
Yeah, that's so close to reality.
Yeah, so like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I'm sure there's a guy chopping somebody up with chainsaw somewhere in this
I think
world.
that's based on a true story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so like I try to stay away from that, keep my
You know what?
brain a little bit clear.
I think I'm going to back up a second. I have a newfound respect for you. I do.
because I'm just all over the place.
If you can wrap yourself in the Hallmark movie experience and be
Yeah.
like, yes, that's what life is about.
Yeah.
I want that. You know what? I'll respect that because life is probably closer to The Purge in reality than it is the Hallmark movie.
than it is to retiring to
Yeah.
some snowy ski town
Yeah, yeah,
somewhere,
yeah.
enjoying life, selling Christmas trees on the corner.
I'm a
leaving my
independent
corporate
bookstore
job.
owner and the editor from I don't know some
New York
like
Times.
New York. Yes.
yeah. Well, I was gonna think Schuster
Okay.
and Schmuck or whatever.
For the record,
Uh-huh.
you guys have seen enough of these to know the stupid story plotline. So my point stands correct.
Okay, first and foremost, the definition of enough is one.
Okay. No, you wouldn't be making the joke about it if you hadn't seen more than one.
No, I've seen.
I'll only say this. I was a kid at one point
You guys
who
are
was forced to
backtracking.
sit down
You're
during the holidays
backtracking.
with
No,
my
no.
family.
Don't care.
So-
I have
You
seen
could say
6
whatever you want.
minutes of
You-
10 different ones.
you
Guess
could-
what? All the same.
You could
Yeah.
say,
You know, you
You
catch
just have to see a trailer and
Yeah,
that's a
whatever.
Hallmark movie.
Hey,
or
listen.
when you walk into the room.
everybody, I am not ashamed of who I am. Apparently, you guys are, and that's okay.
the problem. You should be ashamed of yourself for this.
Nah.
Yeah, you walk into the room and you're like, oh, we're at the part where she realizes she's actually in love with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I actually think it is? It's just like, I don't care how I get it, just any moment of peace.
No. That's why I say I respect this.
Like-
if you can actually find joy in that,
Like,
you're a simple man, and I
I-
applaud you for it.
I find joy in not like just whatever, unplugging. If I have to sit down and watch that to not have to do everything else that I actually have to do, and that's the option, well then whatever.
No, I'm not kidding when I say I complicate my life by going, well, this is not entertaining.
So I'm gonna
or
go somewhere
whatever.
else and do something else. Like,
Yeah.
no, if that I'll
Yeah.
be marginally entertained.
It would take a large amount of drugs for me to get to where you're at, man.
I'd
really
be more
wish I could do
entertained
it.
washing the dishes and taking out trash than watching one of those movies.
I'd be more entertained taking a belt sander to my face. But that's just me, and I'm being a douche nozzle. So,
Cool. I'm gonna test that theory
Gosh.
one day.
You go. Did you see the guy who took his jail tats off his face with a die grinder? You know, murder wheel.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Yeah, so he made bad choices, right? Ended up
He
in
also made
prison.
bad choices taking him off his
Not
face.
true. Think about it. You see a guy with scars on his face, and you're like, oh, horrific
Don't mess
accident.
with that guy.
Well, not only that, but you could be like, that's a survivor. He went through some trauma somehow, and look at him here today. With half a lip, he's still smiling. Okay. But if he shows up with, the 88 and the 114 or all the jail tat BS stuff that's on there, you're just kind of like, I need to avoid this junk.
Remember the guy in Ocala? He had tats everywhere. I don't know if he was still around because you were only in the new store. We were in the old store. You may have ran into him once or twice. Ironically, he was a trust fund kid, but he had tats everywhere.
Okay.
But he was also worked for the Department of Corrections. Worked, not in the jail himself.
Oh, did I?
Like tats all over his face, everything. Ended up becoming a barber. Ended up having to flee town.
Flee town?
Dang.
How bad of a haircut was it?
No, it's that's a long story. That's not my story to share. But he turned.
Well, I don't know that we're ever going to get him on the podcast. So.
No, you never will. I think he's sitting in Puerto Rico or something right now.
Yeah, Puerto Rico has extradition. Okay?
Colombia. Maybe it's Colombia. I don't know. It's a he said, she said story.
Belize, I think, is the non-extradition thing people go to.
Is what I found out. It's literally a he said, she said story. And Marion County wanted him. And he had enough money to get out of town. And I don't know the real story, so I can't judge.
Buddy of mine, back in high school, goes off to college. Now, you think that's where life gets better, but he decided college was nothing more than the vehicle to make a lot of money. Because evidently in college, I don't know, never went, they do a lot of weed in college. So he started growing it. Okay. So he's got an entire grow set up. I never saw it. I don't know. This is all his story, but he's got an entire apartment that he pays rent on. And he's growing all this stuff in there. Automatic timers for water and lights and the whole 9 yards, right?
There.
Goes off to, what's it called? Fat Tuesday, Mardi Gras. Comes back. And when he lands, gets in the car, goes back to his apartment to check on things. Hey, you got raided. So there's cops everywhere. So he stays in the car, drives directly to the airport, gets on a plane, goes to Belize. So he fled the country because he obviously got raided.
Yeah.
You know what he got for it?
What?
Because he ended up having to come back. Obviously, you can only live in Belize for so long
without
limited
any money?
funds. Yeah. So he ends up coming back scot-free because the warrant had the wrong address on it. They went to the right place, but the warrant had like, instead of apartment 91, it was apartment 19 or some simple thing like that. Every bit of it thrown out.
Wow.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I would have went squatter. I would have came back and just went shock face. What in the world? I've been out of town. You mean to tell me somebody set up an entire grow house in my apartment?
Well, I guess what happened was one of the automatic waterers or something, like the switch didn't turn off. So like it just flooded the apartment below him.
That's what I'm saying.
So when maintenance went up there, they were like,
what is that called?
What is all this?
Pikachu face?
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And he
the problem is like one of the plants says like Scott's best or something like that.
Well, he was bragging about it after it was all said and done. He's like, it was amazing. He's like, I had like 500 plants in there and they collected 30. And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, I'm pretty sure the maintenance department removed about 90% of it before the cops showed up.
Dang.
Like, well, okay, awesome.
The maintenance department should have been like, there should have just been a door. We fixed your problem.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah.
We would like our 20% cut moving forward, please.
Yeah. Like, why would you? It's guaranteed revenue.
Yeah. You could quit your maintenance job.
How is it that we always circle back to drugs? Wasn't it last podcast we were talking about when we figure out how to transport across the country?
Yeah, but I don't think we
else.
actually. No, that was drugs. We just didn't talk about it.
Yeah, the method.
Yeah.
No, we're not giving up our secrets.
Yeah.
I forget the methods.
You want me to just say?
No.
Don't
Keep
you
that to
remember?
ourselves.
Okay,
I hear a
fine.
plane.
No problem.
Oh, Tim and I saw an unpainted Gulfstream flying above us yesterday. It was really cool.
I don't think that's as cool as you think it is. I think it's because we live right next to the Gulfstream plant.
No, I know. But I mean, it was like matte green.
Allodyne
I don't know.
green.
Yeah, allodyne green. But most people don't know what allodyne green
Well,
is.
that's
so
why
like,
you say it to educate the public.
it was allodyne green. What's allodyne green, Travis? Go Google it.
Yeah, there you go.
There's your public education.
If you've ever
You've
seen
been
an
educated.
unpainted plane, that green.
green.
Yeah.
The color of bile.
Where are we going next?
Travis.
I still think this podcast is going to be entertaining, by the way.
You don't think it's going to be entertaining?
No, I do think it's going to be entertaining.
Yeah.
Your wife has brought up in
There's
the
a
past,
lot
like
of-
if there's not a, then it's a garbage one, but we'll
Yeah.
find out.
There's been a lot of
People
topics,
of
but it's a
YouTube
lot
tell
of
us.
topics that are, They're not bad. You got Hallmark Boy over here.
Oh, jeez, man.
There's a lot of chopping you could do.
Yeah. Travis, what's the current state of the shop now?
Floor's clean.
Woo.
Yeah.
Thanks to Parker.
Yeah. We got ourselves a part-timer. And that boy's learned how to run a broom.
How many boxes are sitting out ready to be shipped at the moment?
70 something.
Cool.
That's right. Our
Don't know if
shipping
that's
department
72.
can't count.
And we
Yeah.
and we shipped.
I just know how to put stuff in a box and put it by the door.
We shipped something like 60 something at the end of last week.
Yeah.
And our FedEx rep called us and he's like, hey, I saw you guys shipped a ton of stuff that I wasn't expecting. So just want to make sure everything's going smooth.
What do you mean? You're the shipper.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't?
It's probably because they show up in just a utility van. They don't show up in like a big box truck.
Oh, hey, we're going to pack this out today. We're going to need
Yeah.
2 of those. See you in 20.
Yeah.
She's going to show up today and she's going to be like, I had 3 days of not shipping anything or like
Yeah.
1 box. She's like, I guarantee you they're going to show up like not expecting that many.
No,
'Cause she was
not at all.
overwhelmed by the
Yeah, because
55. That's what it was that we
Yeah.
shipped.
And I guess one of the things that I could do to make life easy is an end of day report. And let's see what
Can't you get a cell phone?
oh, it won't even give me an end of day report. I
mean,
guess it
'cause
only does that for postal, not FedEx.
The last place that I worked, I literally had my my guy's number. That way I could tell him, hey, you need to bring another truck.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
easily call up our guy
Mhm.
and he could rearrange it, but we're not there yet. They can fit it all.
Yeah.
It was great because there would be days where it's like, I need you to park a trailer at the dock. What? Yeah, park a trailer at the dock. I'm
Yeah.
going to load out 16 pallets and then I need it moved by 4 and I need you to come back again and get the overflow.
Yeah.
Those were, and he was like, okay. Like, but get the numbers, all I'm saying. That way she's not blown out of the water. Okay.
Should get it on
What's
camera.
her name?
No idea.
I don't know.
Learn it. I don't know. Be a human.
Meyer Flowers every once in a while. Thank you for
So anyways,
hating
state of
life
the
when you
shop,
pull up.
We're shipping a bunch of stuff as quickly as we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're working.
We're working.
We're steady at it.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're running somewhere between 14 and 16 hour days.
Mhm.
Is what it's guaranteed 14. It's kind of pushing longer than that. We are working people.
Yeah.
We promise. I know it doesn't seem like it or feel like it, but to
No,
the
it
people-
definitely feels like it.
it for us, but for the people just patiently waiting on their package. For those that don't understand, I guess we transitioned this year from like in and out of machines running multiple things to like
Dedicated product lines.
dedicating product lines to product machines, and that took time. So like that's why it's now a windfall of we shipped 60 something last week, we're shipping 70 something today alone. Like it just took a moment to catch,
Well, there's
Yeah,
that old
everything
adage,
running
you gotta
again.
slow down to speed up.
which is what we did.
Yeah.
And that hurt, and I understand it. But there's really only 2 more items. No, 1 more item that needs to get. We essentially had to reprogram everything. Every single thing that we do, we had to reprogram, right? In some way, shape, or form to be better. Like we made our slides better, just cosmetically in a few areas, but all that got reprogrammed. We had to reprogram all the frame parts to run in the new 5-axis that took 5 weeks to get set up. So everything is almost to the point where it's officially reprogrammed.
Yeah, we're close to being to a new normal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's where we're headed real fast. But
Yeah.
then we're also having conversations with individuals and opening up more paths. And that's going to get really interesting here in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Um,
So speaking of which, where do you see ourselves in the next? I don't know if you can answer 5 years, but where do you see ourselves in the next year or two?
Where were we at 5 years ago? You weren't in the picture.
No.
No, you
I
were at
wasn't.
Walmart.
You were.
Oh, I wasn't
You
even at
wasn't
Walmart.
Walmart yet.
Are you serious?
I was at the church.
How
Dude.
old are you?
25, right?
26.
26.
Wow,
He was just allowed to drink alcohol 5 years ago. Anywho,
Yeah.
you're closer to my son's age.
Where was I
than
5
he is to
years
mine.
ago? If I could figure out how to put the pieces together and it's not for me to figure out.
Mhm.
But I'm just like a blanket statement because that's easier to understand. If we continue to put the pieces together and grew like we did grow, even the past year.
Yeah, it's only been 2 years that we like really took things and ran.
I wouldn't even say that.
It
It's
hasn't
been
been 2
a
years.
year.
It's been a year and maybe a year and a half. Because if you think about it, we turned on the dial. We lit the fuse November
you're right.
of 22.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were
We're
doing it before.
encroaching on a year and a half.
Don't get me wrong. We were selling slides. Like Dylan and I were hucking slides at the beginning of, at the end of 21. So like Dylan and I think we sold our first Sentinel in the fall of 21. Our first Sentinel XL.
Do you know who that guy
slide.
is?
No, we should go find all like, there's maybe 20 of them, 30 of them. I have a story for you. Just shows you how crazy growth has been and how we've had to manage this. And this hasn't changed at all. And people are either going to love this or hate it. So whatever. They're going to be like, yeah, good for you guys for figuring it out the whole time. Or like, wow, forget you guys. You're never going to figure out how to get ahead of production. There was a point. So I was traveling up here every week for about a year, I think myself. So I would come up, I would leave on a Monday morning out of Ocala. I'd come up, I would sleep on an air mattress at Matthew's house till Friday. I'd drive home Friday evening. I'd be home Saturday, Sunday, wake up, do it again. I did that for a full year. I slept on an air mattress for a full year in Matthew's house. And we just tried to put the pieces together. There was a point where I got out of the shop and I was so frustrated because we were so far behind getting the original XL, not comped, not anything, just XL slide through production and out the door, that I went into downtown. I got a coffee. I drank that and tried to do some work. And then I went to Five Guys, got a burger. And then right next to Five Guys, like a few doors down, is a brewery. It was empty. I grabbed a beer and I sat down and I typed out this huge email of like, listen, I know we're so far behind and I apologize, but just please bear with us. We are almost there. And and I sent it. And I think the email had to go out to like 50 something people. And maybe 10% were like, if you guys, I'm done, refund my money. And we just figured out how to refund it. And the majority of people were like, we love what you're doing. Just keep going. And we did. And here we are 2 years later, and that story hasn't changed.
Do you know what's interesting about that? The story is the wrong word to describe it. Like,
Yeah.
That's the chronological definition of like startup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's interesting though, to me, and scary at the same time, I'm not going to lie, because you don't know the answers to problems that you don't even know are coming.
Yeah.
Is that exponential growth? You know, your first week, you guys made 1 slide. Your next month, you made 40 slides. Your next month, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's that certain amount of growth, and then you hit a point where you're just kind of like, if this keeps going, and then it keeps on this, this trajectory, I will have to be here 24 hours a day to hit that green button. Like, I know that.
So, and that's ironically, I was having a conversation with my wife last week, and it came down to like, yo, I see the growth, but like when
does it get usual?
When does it
become normal?
Like, when do finances get normal? When does all that, like, are you guys actually doing good or are you not? And like, rightfully so, she had every reason to ask that question. And it's one of those things where when you're growing, at some point you have to make the decision of, I can't work 20 hours a day, so I have to add more machines. Or people.
Yeah.
One of the two,
Yeah.
right? Well, now that you just did that and you raised your overhead, now you got to go find more cash to pay for it, which means you get to the point where you bury yourself down again. So like you bury yourself down to buy yourself back time, and then you bury your time back down again, buying yourself back the cash flow that you would have had if you just sucked it up and worked 20 hours a day, 6 days a week to do it. And I keep telling myself there's a plateau that's got to be there somewhere.
Sure.
And then I come in this morning and Dylan's like, yo, I cannot get to all the customer service emails and shit.
Yeah.
Right. And I know that because it's not like I walk in and Dylan's playing World of Warcraft on his computer. Right. I watch everyone run around
That
here.
you've caught him. Like,
Yeah.
let's be honest. Okay.
So, just when you think you're at the point of like, okay, I don't have to hire anyone for the moment. Can we just run on what we have? It's just like one more tipping point of like, well, no, now you got to solve this because the name's getting out there enough. And that's what I asked him. I was like, is it pre-questions or is it post-questions? Are you pre-sale questions or post-sale questions? He's like, majority of it's pre-sale. Then I look at our abandoned carts and everything and I go, well, how much money are we leaving on the table? Because we can't answer those stupid questions, right?
They're not stupid questions.
No.
No. That's the wrong word. They're not stupid questions. And my brain.
It's like, gosh, those daggone questions we can't reach.
Yeah. Like I can't just get to those questions. That should be simple. Like that should be a simple thing to solve. So no, again, like fall of 21 and Dylan was around for it. If you look at our revenue numbers, like Matthew and I were dreaming of revenue numbers that we're doing right now. Dreaming.
Yeah.
And I'm over here now going,
Why this nightmare?
yeah, like cool. We're doing all. It's like it's going out as quick as it's coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Which anyone listening to this, like, please don't take. I'm not complaining one bit about where we're at. This is not a woe is me or anything. This is just open and honest conversation.
Yeah, it's just
of
things
like,
we have to figure out daily.
yeah, it's learning lessons, and I'm slowly finding everyone. All the Instagram influencers are like, find a mentor, blah blah blah. Like it's all like smoke for the most part. The guys that can actually mentor you are few and far in between.
The guys that can mentor you, they don't have the time.
They don't have
They're
the
working
time.
20 hours a day, 6 days a week.
Right.
So it's not as easy as just like picking up the phone and calling this person and going, hey, this is what I'm facing. What would you do? And it's like, we have learned a lot of lessons of what not to do by doing it and failing.
Yeah.
Over the past 2 years. So this is more of a thankfulness to everyone out there that is listening right now. Like, thanks for hanging in with us. Because for the fact that you are, it's why we continue to do what we do. And you're hanging with us through the failures, which is a big ask if you really think about it, because the majority of the people who we're competing against right now, they're 5 years down the road. Whether it's like actual 5 years down the road of production or whatever, doesn't matter. They're just 5 years down the road of name recognition, and they get away with a lot more than what we do. Being younger like we do, people put us on a higher pedestal. We have more to prove.
Yeah.
I don't care. I look at that as like that's a welcome challenge.
Yeah.
Undervalue me.
Yeah.
Please undervalue where I stand.
Yeah.
I will cut your throat. I'm coming for you.
But I do know we have a production quota that we can make, and we are shooting to make every single month. We're not letting off the gas to hit that. I'd like to say that's going to get us ahead. But realistically, with the conversations we're having right now, it's not. So we will solve that problem when we need to solve that problem. But right now, we can make for us what it would be a crap ton of frames and a crap ton of slides.
Is that a metric crap ton?
Yeah, a metric crap ton. And we'll solve the rest of it when we move into the new building, and maybe before we move into the new building, because I don't know. I mean, we're running from 6 a.m. to 8 to 9 every single night.
Yeah.
Just to get product.
You know what's going to happen, right?
What?
We're not moving anything from this building into that building.
I know.
We're just not. We're just gonna get new machines to put over there. That's like nobody
be
wants
careful,
to.
Tim. That's starting to sound like a cuss word here.
What's that?
New machines.
No.
Yeah, because
no.
I run around going, no.
Stop asking
I'm
for
done
$250,000 machines.
Spending money. We're just going to make stuff. That's the one thing I can say. We are finally, for the first time ever, at the end of this quarter, because really we're filming this on the 27th of March. So Q1's done, right? We can step into Q2 being able to run all of our products concurrently at the same time.
Future's so bright. You have to wear shades.
So we can
Wow.
run slides while we're running frames and while we're running barrels. If we do not spend any more money on assets of any sort to up that production, we can at least make what we can make.
Yeah,
And that's the first time we can ever.
I want to talk to you about that. I've actually got a list of expenditures that we need to go through.
Yeah, it ain't happening.
Jeez.
So at this point, my growth, actually, if you want to say like what's 5 years,
Mhm.
I want to not make the same mistakes I made the past couple of years. Because anyone in this building, well, Mike and Tyler don't know it yet, but if you could ask Matthew too, but if somebody came up and asked you guys, like I risk a ton. I'm not afraid to.
Chance favors the bold, baby.
I am not afraid to swing for the fences over and over and over and over again because I'm trying to hit a home run, and that's the only way you hit a home run is if you swing for the fences. But right now, through Q2, Q3, I wouldn't mind for like a double.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's just calm down, boys. Let's just do the safe thing.
I want to make runs. I just want to make runs at the moment. And I'm not a big baseball guy, but if I know that, everyone knows
Bring
that.
this full circle.
Yeah.
Moneyball. Great movie. I
Moneyball.
enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk about Jerry Maguire though, and like,
Not
show
a-
me the money.
not a good movie.
No,
No. And that's saying something because I love Tom Cruise's movies.
that's saying something right there.
Why?
Judging by a Hallmark.
Oh, are you kidding?
I'm just messing.
Mission Impossibles. I can dream, can't I?
Talk about a movie that's gotten redone over and over and over and over and over
Yeah,
again.
exactly. Hey, if the formula works.
Yeah.
And that kind of ties into the business. Keep swinging for the fences.
Yeah.
Because you may live under an immense amount of stress. It's working. Keep
Right
getting
there.
bigger, keep selling. So,
Getting
and
bigger.
thanks, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate it. So very quick snapshot. I'd like to be in more stores.
Yeah.
Or online. Great. I'd like now it's time to go retail.
Yep.
And that's what we're working on right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, sky's the limit.
Mm-hmm.
I think we make really good products. I think our customer service is great.
Yeah.
We just have to solve speeding it back up again.
Yep.
Which we do. We now have a plan in place. So for those of you that have reached out, we're fixing it.
Yep.
And we're just going to keep making product because, man, do we have a lot of cool stuff in the pipeline.
Yeah.
And in the past, I have done the thing of putting it out there. And
Okay. No, that's how we're finishing this. Okay. We're not drawing it to a close. This is a conversation we're going to have, and then we can close out the podcast. Okay.
okay.
Because I want to know. I want comments. I want to hear. As a customer, do you want to hear about the really cool stuff that's coming?
Or do you want us to just have it in stock and launch it?
Well, or is this like, does it make more sense to say, hey, check out these really awesome grips that we've made, knowing that we're 3 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks behind on production,
12 weeks.
12 weeks.
Yeah,
behind
yeah.
on
We have
production.
this argument nowadays.
Yeah, we have this argument internally. I want to know in the comments, right down below. There's a link up here. What would you prefer? Do you want to know about the cool stuff that's coming?
Do you want
Or
to
does it
pre-order to
offend,
get?
or does it offend you because do the thing I ordered, not the new cool thing?
Yeah, because that is actually an internal discussion now. I'm trying to respect. We're trying to figure out what respects the customer the most.
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
because we understand we're behind on lead times. It's what it takes to get good product. You want what's that like triangle? You can have a great product, great price, really fast. Choose three or choose two of the three.
That little dynamic works on everything. You have it fast, you can have it cheap, or you can have it whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
where we're at right
Yeah.
now. So it takes time, but you're getting really good product at a great price. Anywho, so yeah, we're trying to have that discussion right now of everything that we have in the pipeline of cool stuff that's coming right in line with everything that we already do.
Mhm.
Do we tease it?
Yeah, do you want to know about it?
Do you want to know about it, or do you want us to just catch up and then make it and then release
And
it
then drop it.
and then
Yeah.
drop it? What would you prefer?
Yeah.
Would you like to know what's on the dock? Would you like to pre-order what's on the dock?
You know what I think the
Or
answer
would
is
you
going to
like
be?
to?
I think overwhelmingly you're going to have more people say, I want to know what's coming. I want to see the cool stuff.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
why?
Save my money.
But that's one thing. Okay. but they're not the ones waiting. F that guy. That guy's waiting, not me. Show me something cool.
Show me. Okay,
Yeah.
if you have a pending order at the moment, give me your response, please.
Yeah, exactly. Your opinion matters.
Your opinion matters.
Until it doesn't. And then, sorry. And on that note,
have a good day.
bye.